guy really tough. If you want to stop him, you have to choke him or knock him out. This guy is gonna fight 5 rounds.
He had surgery after his last fight. Just how compromised going to be, either from injury.
This is a fighter who now 4 times within the organization has fought at 180. 1 time at a catch weight and 3 times down at 170. With one thing in common, he has never lost. And these are over-the-top guys in the world. Every middleweight that claims he would like to be champion should have fought tooth and nail to be opposite Chimaev, and they all could have got it, any one of them. Any middleweight could have got it. Duplessis, Whitaker, go right through the list. Gastelum would have been on there, but he announced that he was going to go down to 170. Bo Nickel, any one of them could have got it. And why? Because nobody wanted it. Nobody stepped up to that challenge. So then, even when you do have Paulo Costa, somehow, which has never been clarified for any of us, somebody gets a terrible idea of putting Paulo Costa against a Russian kickboxer on a Salt Lake card in a non-feature match. Like, of all of decision-making of 2023 that needed to be ran back, it was that decision, and it did get ran back to pull him off, to put him in there with Chimaev, but it wasn't just to preserve that match in that specific location on October 22nd, it's because none of the rest of the cowards did it. That's the truth. And when I'm talking about nobody, apparently I do need to call Jared Cannonier a nobody, because he did. I do need to give him that credit. But it's if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, doesn't make a sound, right? When Cannonier says he'll do something, but he doesn't let anybody, it's different. Cannonier does get the credit though. Cannonier does not get put on the list of cowards that all the rest of you middleweights do. So it's so hard to find an opponent for an opportunity that has already been established. It will be a #1 contenders match. That was already established by Dave, and you all heard it. Don't act like you didn't hear it. You all heard it. You all knew what was at stake, and none of you were willing to do it. So the same way that we could have walked a mop out there and given it the opportunity.
Fight fans, welcome back to Luxury Tainment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another thrilling episode of Inside the Octagon with Luxury Tainment. Today, we're diving into the captivating potential matchup between 2 powerhouses in the UFC's middleweight division, Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland. But before we dissect their showdown, let's catch up with the latest news about these 2 fighters and delve deeper into their respective journeys. Khamzat Chimaev, often referred to as Borz, has been on a rise in the world of mixed martial arts. Since his arrival in the UFC, Chimaev has been a force to be reckoned with, showcasing his versatility and dominance. In a surprising turn of events, Khamzat Chimaev's victory over the former welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman, at UFC 294 has propelled him to the top of the middleweight rankings. UFC CEO Dana White confirmed Chimaev's status as the #1 contender, setting the stage for a potential title shot. Chimaev's confidence and momentum are at an all-time high. His striking power and wrestling skills make him a formidable force in the division. With a background in both welterweight and middleweight, he brings a unique skill set to the table. However, the challenge for Chimaev will be adjusting to the middleweight division, having previously fought as a welterweight. Adapting to a new weight class presents its own set of challenges, especially when the competition gets tougher. On the other side of the octagon, we have Sean Strickland, who recently claimed the middleweight championship with a surprising upset victory over Israel Adesanya. Sean Strickland's win over Israel Adesanya at UFC 293 was nothing short of extraordinary. This underdog story has catapulted Strickland to the status of middleweight champion, and now he stands at the pinnacle of the division. Sean Strickland brings championship experience, a composed demeanor, and a strong ground game into this potential matchup. His journey to the top has been one of determination and grit. However, Strickland's potential disadvantage might be underestimating Khamzat Chimaev, given the newcomer's explosive rise in the middleweight division. Complacency can be a dangerous foe. Now let's delve into the possibilities of this fight happening. The intrigue surrounding this clash has fans and experts eagerly awaiting an official announcement. While the UFC and fans are buzzing about the potential matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland, the fight remains uncertain due to a recent hand injury sustained by Chimaev during his bouts with Usman. The extent of his injury and its impact on his readiness for a title shot remain unknown.
Dominate the guy first round. After first round, last minute, I think I broke my hand.
The uncertainty surrounding the fight gives both fighters valuable time to recover and prepare. It also builds anticipation and excitement within the MMA community. However, the lack of clarity about Chimaev's physical condition raises questions about when or if this highly anticipated bout will take place. The longer the wait, the greater the unpredictability of this encounter. It's clear that Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland are two fighters at different stages of their careers, each with unique advantages and potential disadvantages. The MMA world eagerly awaits more updates and developments regarding this potential matchup. Sean Strickland, the current undisputed middleweight champion, most recently turned in a shocking upset win over former two-time divisional title holder Israel Adesanya at UFC 293 back in September in Sydney, Australia, landing a hugely one-sided unanimous decision win over the city kickboxing staple over the course of 5 rounds. Following the withdrawal of Paulo Costa from a fight with Chimaev and prior to the short-notice insertion of former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman into the bout, reports surfacing claiming Strickland had rejected a short-notice title defense against the Chechnya native. Sean Strickland's coach Nixick detailed that while his student had no issue fighting on such a short notice, a quick-fire turnaround against Chimaev made no sense, having previously drafted in to fight Adesanya on less than 6 weeks' notice down under.
Someone now! Say something! Someone now! I'm on you boys! This is just a Who would you like to see next when you step into the office? Everybody! I come in for everybody! Kill everybody!
From my understanding, the UFC, did offer Sean Strickland a title fight with Khamzat, Eric Nixick told Luxurytainment. They just threw it out there to see if he would be available. When Sean had asked me, to be honest, I was the one that kind of said no. I was like, bro, I can't be there. Like, we can go out there, but it didn't make any sense to me whatsoever as a champion to take a short notice fight against a killer. It continued, Sean can fight anybody on any day's notice. We know that he has done it in the past, but why is it our responsibility to go put our title on the line on short notice when we already have done this by fighting Izzy on a 5.5 weeks notice? Fearing had suffered a fractured hand in the immediate aftermath of his eventual decision win over Usman Chimaev, is set to avoid a surgical procedure, with his manager confirming how the undefeated challenger has instead suffered a ligament tear in his hand and will wear a sportive brace for a period of time. Chimaev, who debuted at number 9 in the official middleweight pile off the back of his return to the division earlier this month, landed a close majority decision win over former undisputed welterweight champion and pound-for-pound number 1 Kamaru Usman at UFC 294 back in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Khamzat Chimaev is expected to challenge for undisputed gold against Strickland in his return to the Octagon as he continues to recover from a hand ligament tear suffered in his win over Usman. Khamzat Chimaev has been tipped to struggle anytime he fights Strickland, according to South African contender du Plessis. When you look at this, I have one or two options, Dricus du Plessis told Luxury Entertainment during a recent interview. The first thing I can say is a little bit of a jab is Khamzat Chimaev's hand is broken, right? So he should be ready to fight in 7 weeks or he forfeits his title shot, because that's what happened to me. I wasn't ready to fight in 7 weeks with a broken foot. If you want to give Khamzat the title shot, go right ahead, du Plessis explained, because the Khamzat that fought this weekend loses to Sean Strickland every day of the week. In an interview with Luxury Entertainment, Sean Strickland questioned Chimaev's credentials as a number 1 contender in his new weight class. Of course, that doesn't mean Strickland will try and deny Chimaev of his opportunity. The only thing I like about Chimaev is that he sells fights, Strickland said. For some reason, people like him or don't like him, I don't know. To me, he's a paycheck. He sells a lot of fights. People pay to watch, but he hasn't earned it. He continued, he doesn't deserve it, but here we are. Give it to him. He sells a lot of fights. I'll go fight the man for 5 rounds. But no, he's not earned it. Getting a decision with a welterweight off the couch is not earning it. Sean Strickland claimed the middleweight throne with a shocking, upset victory against Israel Adesanya at UFC 293 in September. Before Strickland stepped in against the last stylebender, Dricus du Plessis was supposed to be next in line to receive a title shot. However, the South African contender wasn't healthy enough to face Adesanya at UFC 293 after defeating Robert Whittaker in July. In summary, the potential clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland presents a fascinating blend of advantages and disadvantages for both fighters. While Chimaev's momentum and striking power provide clear advantages, Strickland's experience as a champion and the potential mental edge could balance the scales. The outcome of this matchup remains uncertain and eagerly anticipated by MMA fans, as both fighters bring unique strengths and weaknesses to the Octagon. However, Mystic Zach predicts Chimaev beats Strickland, even stopping him in the second round. Thank you for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and have a great day.